Hello, my name is Mark, and today's video lecture is about completing the squares. Okay, so there's three basic steps to completing the square, and then a fourth one is kind of like the initial step. So let's look at it. So first you want to isolate the variable terms. Then you divide the middle term by 2x, or whatever the variable is. Square the result, and add this result to both sides. Okay, so let's look at this first problem. We have x squared minus 6x plus 18 equals 0. So our first step will be to isolate the variable terms. So I'm going to subtract an 18 from both sides. So minus 18, and then that will just leave you with x squared minus 6x is equal to 18. Okay, so that was step 0. We isolated the variable term, and then now we're going to divide what? We're going to divide the middle term by 2x. So here's the middle term, and we're going to divide that by 2x. So I'm going to take negative 6x divided by 2x, and that'll give me what? A negative 3. Okay. So I'm going to take that result and I'm going to square it. Okay, so I'm going to take my negative 3 and I'm going to square it. So let's see what that looks like. Negative 3 squared gives you what? 9. And then I'm going to take my 9 and I'm going to add it to both sides. So I'll have x squared minus 6x plus 9 is equal to the negative 18 plus 9. Okay. And then when I factor the left-hand side, okay, remember how to factor. I factor the left-hand side. Well, this is a perfect square trinomial, so it's really x minus 3 squared. And then negative 18 plus 9, that's negative 9. Okay. And then using extraction of roots, I get the square root of both sides. Okay. Get the square root of the left-hand and the right-hand side. And so that's going to leave you on the right-hand side plus and minus the square root of negative 9. And over here, well, the square root of a perfect square, that's just x minus 3. Okay. Well, let's see here. The square root of negative 9, well, that's what? That's plus and minus 3i. So I have x minus 3 is equal to plus and minus 3i, and now I'm going to add 3 to both sides. Okay. And so that final answer will be what? That final answer will be x is equal to 3 plus and minus a 3i. Okay. Let's take a look at another one. So we have 8x squared plus 8x plus 80 equals 0. Okay, so once again, the first thing I'm going to do is isolate the variable terms. So that's minus 80. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, minus 80. And then let's see here. That'll give me x squared plus 8x is equal to negative 80. Okay. Where's my middle term? So here's my middle term. I need to divide that by 2x. So 8x divided by 2x will give me 4. I need to square 4. 4 squared equals 16. I need to add that to both sides. X squared plus 8x plus 16 will equal negative 80 plus 16. Okay. Well, this right here is what? That's a perfect square trinomial. So that means that's the result of x plus 4 squared, and then negative 80 plus 16. Well, that's a negative 64. Okay. Now what are we going to do? Get the square root of both sides. Okay. Get the square root of both sides. Well, the square root of a perfect square is just itself. So this is x plus 4. Okay, and this is plus and minus the square root of negative 64. okay, plus and minus the square root of negative 64. And then now what are we going to do? Well, the square root of negative 64, okay, just ends up with plus and minus 8i. X plus 4 equals plus and minus 8i, okay. And then next we're going to subtract 4 from both sides. And so that will give us x is equal to negative 4 plus and minus 8i, okay. So once again, your main 4 steps are x is equal to negative 4 plus and minus 8i. So your main 4 steps are right here, okay, which are, you always want to isolate your variable term, divide both sides by 2x or whatever the variable is, square the result, and then add this to the result to both sides. Okay. So this has been my video lecture about completing the squares. You can look me up online, www.supergenius99.com. Thank you for listening.